Hey everyone, it's Tom Gentile. Welcome to Tom's Trading Room, Thursday, January 28th, 2015. First, let me apologize. I have not sent out a weekly blog for the last few weeks. I've been busy with something called Tom's Trading Essentials. Many of you that are watching this broadcast right now got to see Tom's Trading Essentials. I hope you enjoyed it. We got a lot of great feedback on it. For those of you that missed it, don't worry. We're going to be doing it again here real soon. And so that being said, let's talk about the stock market, what's been going on with it. We're going to talk about next week's earnings, and I also want to cover Apple for just a few minutes. So what's been happening in the stock market? Let's take a look at that right now. S&P 500 is where I want to go first. SPY is the symbol that I'm going to be looking at. So is the bottom in? About a week and a half ago, we actually had a move down to near 180 on the SPY. We're now back up to 190. We've been hanging around the 190 area. I do think we're going to see some continued upside momentum into the first week or two of February. And there's a couple reasons why. Number one, volatility has definitely backed off, as you can see here with this red line. This is implied volatility for 7 to 30 days using the at-the-money options. Number two, bonds. I'm going to look at TLT real quick. So TLT is doing pretty much the reverse of the stock market. It made a high. It has pulled back. It is consolidating. Volatility in the bond market is also dropping lower. And number three, the most important thing is oil. Oil is moving the stock market right now. So as you see oil going lower, the stock market has gone lower, but oil has made a rebound, and it's gone from, I got to tell you, it was below $28 a barrel last week. And last week. Now we're back up around 33.5, and this is USO. USO came down below 8, and it's now trading just south of 10. So that is a big move, about a 20% up move in USO. Would I buy USO right now if I think oil is going to move higher? No. I do not like long-term buys on things that are ETFs that are commodity-based, all right? They typically have more of a downside momentum than an upside. If you really like oil and energy, then I would suggest looking at oil and energy stocks or the market vectors. I am going to be doing a special educational-only webinar in about 2 weeks. And in that educational-only webinar, I'm going to be discussing the pattern that's coming up in oil, all right, and a couple of different ways you can trade that pattern between now and July 2016. So be looking for your invitation for that next week. All right, earnings. So we got earnings coming up on a couple of different stocks next week. I'm really most interested in Google or Alphabet. All right, Gilead, also Chipotle. That ought to be a good one. UPS, Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, Wynn Resorts, and LinkedIn. Those are the ones I'm looking at next week. The ones I'm going to pay particular attention to are the 7-0s. All right, the Googles, the Gileads, and the LinkedIns. Why 7-0s? Because the last 7 quarters they beat their analysts' expectations. That's one pattern that we see there. That's a fundamental pattern, but that doesn't mean the stock's going to go up. All right? We can look at other patterns as well. To start your search on these, you simply go to tomsoptiontools.com, go to stocks, go to rankers, go to earnings rankings, and then you can actually browse through whatever stock list you want. You can look at most actual earnings above estimates, below estimates, and calendar days to next earnings and calendar days to past earnings. We also have a really nice feature in here called earnings effects. What does the stock do before earnings? What does the stock do after earnings? And is there a pattern involved in either or both? All right. All of that you can find right here on the tools. All right. Finally, let's pop on over and let's look at Apple. So Apple has not been the apple of most investors' eyes after the earnings report that came out just a few days ago. In fact, Apple is now trading very, very close to the lows that were made on Flash Crash Day back in August of last year. All right, Apple traded all the way down to 92, I believe it was, and we got very, very close to that today. I'm expecting that this number will be breached. I'm expecting we go down into the high 80s, possibly mid 80s, 85, before we find support. And I believe Apple is becoming more of a value play. All right, it's no longer a short-term trader's opportunity anymore. It's a long-term trader's opportunity. And for those of you that are members of Tom's Option Tools, all right, if you're getting the complete trader package or you're getting the professional package, I have a detailed report on Apple showing how we can look at it as an investor or a value play using options, using butterflies to make this thing just ridiculously cheap in terms of cost, risk, and of course the reward to risk looks very, very good. Last couple things here, guys. We got some really interesting things going on in our forum. We're talking about the money calendar, our forum. We're also talking about straddles because that's our next big webinars that we have going on. But you can also access the Traders Forum just by clicking on a forum as a member, and you can come in and you can see all the information that we're discussing in the Traders Forum. And finally, for those of you that do not have a subscription to the room, well, if you come over to tomsoptiontools.com, pop on over to the upper right-hand corner. We got a 7-day free trial, and you can get a trial to any one of our packages. It is a full trial. That means you get the ability to use everything for that week. And that everything includes all the videos. All right. In fact, I'll be sending you videos each day during your trial to show you exactly what this tool set can do. We also have forums, and you'll have full access to our trader support as well. All right. So you can do that by clicking on tomsoptiontools.com and clicking on this 7-day free trial. All right, guys, have a great weekend. It's upcoming, and I'll be talking to you next week. We'll see you then.